Obama rides to the White House on hope and change. There are a lot of people that supported him that ask the question, why aren't there Wall Street bankers in jail? Do you think there should be?
You know, I was as outspoken as anyone in the White House.
When it comes to Africa, Ebola, genocide, has America turned the other way? And if so, why?
We are weary with the world.
Would you want your daughters to become prostitutes if you think legalized prostitution isn't that big of a deal?
Well, I would be honest with them and tell them it's a choice.
And we talked to one of them yesterday, Jonathan Watkins. His daughter was, of course, shot and killed. The man accused of doing that has been arrested 38 times. What is wrong with our system that people can be arrested 38 times and are out walking around?
Well, we got to try to deal with some of the root problems.
Do you and Representative Madigan feel personally responsible for the financial decisions that have led the state into this mess?
Well, I think there's shared sacrifice.
Early on, some saw you as a hustler. What is the biggest change in your life over the last 15 years to change all that?
I think that I don't think that you change that. I think everybody that's ever been a civil rights leader, they tried to make a hustler.
So, Greg, you study broadcast journalism, you do the soup, and then boom, you're with these big shot Hollywood actors doing things like As Good as It Gets with Jack Nicholson. And do you ever get the vibe from these guys, like a Harrison Ford, that, hey, I went to thespian school for 20 years, and this guy comes out from the broadcast journalism program. Who does he think he is?
Hey, man, Harrison was a carpenter. He didn't have any room to talk. All right?
And to play the devil's advocate, they had to beat other local Little League teams in America to get to that point. And, I mean, that is part of sports is the fairness of it all. The same ball, the same field where you're recruiting kids. And if you're recruiting kids from other suburbs outside your district, you should have a better team.
They followed the rules that they knew them to be.
And he got some advice from an associate that said something like, don't bring the street into your family. And he obviously ignored that advice. Why do you think that is?
I don't know why he ignored it. That's a question I'd like to ask him.
Doesn't it make sense for the government to put a wire on someone, because there are still a lot of unanswered questions in this story of Drew Peterson?
Oh.
And one of them seems to be answered in this letter that you find credible, that Stacy was dumped in Lake Michigan, according to Drew Peterson.
Well, according to the letter, that's what Drew Peterson told Antonio Smith.
Now, we have a photo of Barack Obama with his father. Really no relationship there. How did Barack Obama develop this really identity, an African-American identity, without a frame of reference?
It was difficult.
In order to win, though, you have to reach out to minorities, and some of whom may be disappointed that civil rights issues and immigration reform might not have been pushed hard enough when you were chief of staff. How do you respond to that?
Well, first of all, you know that President Obama laid out an agenda he got handed on day one.
It attracts a lot of celebrities, and of course Tom Cruise is one of the most famous faces. Is he ignorant of all this going on, or does he choose to ignore it?
I mean, if he is ignorant, then, you know, it must be a willful ignorance.
So is it your feeling that Jesus and his disciples set out to fulfill the prophecies purposely? Did the gospel writers fulfill it for him after the fact, or a combination of the both?
Well, there are so many prophecies about who the Messiah is supposed to be.
You say that you don't, gay marriage is a hot issue, and you don't talk about that because you say that it's not in the Bible, gay marriage. But there are things in the Bible that we don't teach, like slavery. So where do you find that balance?
You know, it's a tough issue.
It's called paymetodyourhomework.com. Does it bother you that you're helping to do something that is immoral?
No.
Why?
Just doesn't. I mean, why does anybody go to work from 9 to 5 just to make the money? That's basically. But
at least you're earning it with your honest efforts.
I'm not a hypocrite at all. I'm fine with what I do.
So none of these people, these 75 experts you have any problem doing someone else's homework? I mean, how do you find these people that none of them care that they're...
Yeah, they find me, actually. Yeah, they will contact me. They have to possess at least a bachelor's degree, but we prefer a master's.
What if you found out that the master's degree was obtained fraudulently by using your very own service?
Ooh.
Would you fire them?
Oh, absolutely.
You
yes,
would?
probably. Yeah. Yeah.
Why? If there's nothing wrong with it, what's wrong with it?
Because my experts have to be on key. They've got to really be on target. Like, we have zero plagiarism. Like, you can't plagiarize in my company.
So you're creating tons of workers, making that somebody else's problem.
Right.
But wouldn't you rather contribute something positive to society?
No.